Hey everybody, this is Isaiah Colton, and welcome to another episode of Sales and Marketing Secrets. And this is one of my favorite topics that I'm going to share with you. It's called my 7-figure blueprint, and I'm going to share with you a core strategy on how to develop a structure to go to 7 figures and even 8 figures in your business. It's the exact structure that I've used to generate over $47 million in revenue since the start of my company. And if you included other people that I've consulted, it's literally well over $100 million in revenue that this formula has helped generate. And if you're a realtor or a loan officer or anyone who is running a service-based business, you're going to want to take detailed notes, because I literally have developed a real estate business that did over 1,000 transactions a year using the same formula. And I opened up a broker-to-broker referral program as a secondary business to our brokerage that literally moved billions of dollars through the economy through this formula. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I appreciate the love and help sharing this message with anyone else that needs to improve their sales and marketing along the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So the formula starts off with a niche. Now, a lot of people know and heard of what a niche is, but most people get it all wrong and they don't know how to pick their niche. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how to pick the right niche for you, and also how to overcome the fear of niching. Okay, so we've all heard the saying called the riches are in the niches. And yet most people, when they're developing their business plan, they completely look over this niche and they try to become everybody. They try to be something to everybody. And that's why their business most likely is stagnating or failing. Because we live in a hyper-competitive market, and anytime that you're in a hyper-competitive market, particularly in real estate or in the home services industry, if you don't speak to a specific target audience and develop a plan around that audience, you will blend in with what's called the bloody water. Okay, and if you haven't ever heard of a book called The Blue Ocean Strategies, it expands on this and does a very good job of breaking this down, and I'd highly recommend you read that book. But the key is riches in the niches. And the key is picking the right niche, because I know a lot of you have fear that if you niche down, you're not going to get any other business. And the reality is there's something called the halo effect. And what the halo effect does is when you speak to a specific niche and audience and you dominate that niche and you become well known in that niche, the power of the halo effect says, hey, look, if they're really good at this, then they also must be able to help me with this. So then anything else that you do around it, you get ancillary business anyway, and it allows you to actually go into other niches later on because you have a success story. And I want you to write that down. It's all about creating the success story. The success story is your marketing firepower. And that's what going into a niche does. So for those that are afraid to go in a niche, okay, be more afraid of failing in your business or your business stagnating by not going into a niche. Now, how do you pick the right niche? Well, first of all, it's got to be a niche that you are passionate about. Something that you either have a personal story or a background connection with, or you see them they're very undervalued and you're passionate about serving and helping that niche. You have to be irrationally passionate about servicing that niche. So for an example, when we first started a real estate company, I had already used this formula for a digital marketing company. I just transferred over to our real estate team. And we decided and we looked at all the niches and we saw the low-hanging fruit was for sale by owners and expireds. Number one, the reason why I love that niche is because they were underserved and misunderstood. It doesn't mean that a lot of people weren't trying to tap into that niche, but they really didn't know how to dominate it. And there was very few people dominating that niche. And eventually we got into a cash offer campaign. And what we did is we went out and we studied and learned everything we could about this particular niche. And what we did is we identified all of their problems. And then what we did is once we identified all the problems, we listed out all of the solutions to that niche. And then we developed all of our marketing materials around that simple problem and solution formula. And then once we did that, it led to the next part of my overall 7-figure blueprint, which I'm going to get to in a minute. So I just gave you a pro tip, okay? I also not only helped you get into a niche, I just helped you develop the framework for all of your marketing and your sales content. You see, when you identify the niche and come up with solutions, now you can use things like ChatGPT and other AI solutions to actually develop a marketing strategy. You simply plug in the problem solutions and tell ChatGPT to come up with all different kinds of marketing strategies for you. That's a different video as I dive into more details in other videos about dominating a niche. Okay. So that's step number one. And if you are in an underserved niche or a misunderstood niche that you're irrationally passionate about, that is the key, and that's what's important. All right, number two is creating the offer. So it's one thing to actually be like, hey, I'm like everybody else and I service XYZ. It's another thing to have what's called an irresistible offer, or an offer that is so incredible that your client would feel crazy to refuse. And here's the magic formula, so to speak, and a major part of the 7-figure blueprint, because this is what gets people to take action. And that's presenting an irresistible offer. So what you have to do is you have to take all of the solutions that are on the plate and package it up in a way that somebody would pay 10% commission instead of the standard 6% because it has a perceived value. Or if you're in the B2B service industry, you've outlined all of their pain points and you've a solution to each pain point, and you give them different options. So for example, going back to when we were working for Sale by Owners and Expireds, we would give them 3 different service options. We'd have a 5% option, a 6% option, and a 7% option. All had amazing value. And what we did is we set up the formula to be able to make the 6% so attractive they wouldn't want to do the 5%. And sometimes they would even go for the 7%. So we had a skewed, if you looked at the overall average, we still stayed at 6%, but we won more deals. And I want you to write this down. The problem with you only giving one choice means either they're choosing you or they're choosing your competition. When you have choices in front of them and different service plans in front of them with a unique offer attached to it, then they have options with you. And now you have also room for negotiation. So what you can do is give them benefits from the middle option and put it into the lower option, or give them benefits from the higher option and use that to close the deal to create a sense of urgency. And that's the other part of the irresistible offer. Not only does it have amazing perceived value, but you also include, you also include bonuses, meaning like it's not part of your standard offer, but you do other things to create a sense of urgency. Because if there's not a sense of urgency or scarcity in your offer in some way, shape, or form, meaning a certain amount of people that you can work with, and or you're giving them a special deal as part of your offer, that will help you get them over the edge. So all of those people that you're going out on the listing appointments with, and they're not doing business with you, even though you gave a great presentation, folks, this is why you're losing it. They saw a better opportunity with somebody else. Okay, just remember that. If you're in the B2B services industry, or you're in the home service industry in general, this is why you're losing a lot of deals, is because how your offer is being presented. Okay, so other reasons why your offer is important, in addition to just being unique in the marketplace, it will help all of your conversion rates. Your marketing conversion rates will go up. Your sales conversion rates will go up. Your ability to be able to build a team and train them will become a lot easier, because now your team, your newer people, can be convicted about the offer, and that conviction will help them close and sell better. Now, the key then is, once you have the offer, is developing a marketing plan. And this is number 3, is developing a marketing plan to get your offer out there. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do this, but a couple ideas to get your marketing, your offer out there is take all of the problem solutions that you developed, okay, and turn that into guides, turn that into YouTube videos, turn that into educational videos, turn that into social clips, or short form video clips, I should say. So there's over 9 different ways you can take this offer and turn it into different value added content that now you're just recycling throughout your marketing plan. You can do a lead generation funnel, what I call a tripwire, where you give them you give them an idea of what they can do, and then when something valuable, they download it, and then it goes to your offer, where you want an offer that you present to them, and then they can set up an appointment. So there's a whole lot of ways that you can do this, and we've done this extremely effective in the running cash offer campaigns. So literally done probably over 1,000 transactions and with a cash offer campaign. I've also done this with other campaigns as well. And so what we simply do is we run an offer to present them a cash offer. They put their information in, and then what they do is they go to another page. We have a quick 5-minute video explaining the difference between a cash offer and getting full market value to their home. And then we give them an opportunity to set up a consultation from once they've entered into the funnel. Some of them set up the appointment, some of them don't, but then it goes into a follow-up campaign. And now our follow-up campaign keeps in touch with them while our inside sales agents and our outside sales agents follow up with those leads. And it's been absolutely incredible. So the cash offer campaign has been amazing. And when we get to the closing table, we also have other offers that we give them along the way. And that is another very important part of your marketing plan. You see, in the marketing plan, you need to make sure that you're providing and holding back specific elements of the offer for surprises, what I call surprises or gifts. It's gifts that the salespeople can use. It's gifts that the marketing people can include to get them to set up an appointment. It's gifts that the service team, can offer along the way. So gifting is a very important part of the experience, and that leads me into the sales process. You need to make sure that you're presenting and have a really, really strong listing presentation. And I know that there's a lot of listing presentations out there, or if you're in the B2B world, a general sales presentation. But rule of thumb is after you're building rapport and you've gone through your process, or maybe you've done a tour of the home, or if you're in B2B, you've had an opportunity to do some fact finding, you're qualifying, you make sure that it makes sense to continue the conversation. Now you run into the body of the presentation. The body of your presentation should take no longer than 15 to 20 minutes. Any longer than that, and their brain is fried. Like, they're not paying attention to you. And then you transition into the different options that you offer to do business with you, and then you assume the close, which we're going to get into in another video. Now, when you're assuming the close, the sales agent has tools in their tool belt to get them over the edge, to get them to create urgency to take action now. So this may seem a little bit unconventional, and that's exactly the point. It is unconventional, meaning you don't want to be doing everything, doing something that everybody else is doing, because that means you're no different than your freaking competition. And that's what making the offer around an irresistible offer does for you. All right, next is sales. After sales is developing a service plan. Now what you want to do is take your offer that was presented to them and making sure there's a really solid checklist, and your service team, or if you're doing the service, you're following the same way every time to deliver an amazing quality experience. And there should be check-ins, there should be stats, there should be reports, because if you do this, now your offer starts going viral, because as they have a good experience, they're going to refer more people to you. And you create all of these testimonials that then you go back and put at the front of your marketing plan. And now you become known for offering tremendous value, and they start bragging about the things that you want to. So for example, my clients in our coaching company, they brag about having a system and process in place. They brag about not just talking about a 7-figure blueprint, but having a step-by-step process and system that we have in place where they can go from 0 to 7 figures step by step by step, just like I'm doing with you through this video. That's what our clients brag about. So if you hear all of our testimonial videos, the reason why they're bragging about that, because when they're engaging with our client experience, it's so systematic and they know exactly what to expect. Now, next, we give them certainty. And where there's certainty, their people feel comfortable. And where they feel comfortable, they earn trust. And that's the key to our success, is having a really strong checklist that we walk through, so they have the same exact experience every time. And then the next thing, which is really important, is developing systems to scale. Systems are people, process, and tools. You see anything that you run into where there's friction or you're not getting the results that you want, it's either because the skill sets of the people, or not having the right people, you don't have the right process in place, or you don't have the right tools to help the people follow a process. And so what I've done to add fuel to this fire, so to speak, to this formula, is getting really good at developing systems to back up this unique 7-figure blueprint. And that's what puts this into hyper growth, because now what you do is you remove all friction from every point. So you look at the point of the niche, okay, and you look at the offer, and you kind of break down each process. You say, okay, what people can we put in place in our marketing team to make this work better? What people can we put in place sales? What process can we put in place? What process can we put in place? What tools? And you just do that through your marketing, your sales, your service, and your technology. And you just make sure that you keep fine-tuning that process from an operational standpoint over and over and over again. And now you scale your business to 7 and even 8 figures. And you'll do what I've done. And this is how I've done it. Again, $47 million in revenue, okay, since I've been in business over the past 8 years or so. And so this formula has changed my life. And this might sound a little bit dramatic, but it's true. When you learn how to master this formula that I've given you, it gives you the license to virtually print money. You almost become your own printing press, because you develop a predictable sales and marketing plan with predictable results. And what I'm going to do in upcoming videos is I'm going to actually take more of a detailed dive in every single one of these components. So that way you can get the details that you need to be successful. And if you have not already, okay, you should check out our 7-figure blueprint. And I'm going to give you for free the outline of the sales and marketing plan, which is a key cornerstone of our 7-figure blueprint, by clicking below. And again, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure that you do to get more awesome videos like this. Isaiah Colton with another episode of Sales and Marketing Secrets, and I'll see you in the next video.